bitches, every city in my tribe. Look behind. Booty dominate the world, peaches ripe.
Hi,
Hello, welcome. Oh, it's you
how
again.
are you?
Good, how are
Yep,
you?
yeah, I'm okay. Working long hours. Just went to the store to buy myself a drink and going back.
Sweet. What would you like
You
to
know,
talk about today?
I don't know. Just again, I don't understand when somebody said that people who wants to have families, be a supportive father and stuff like that, are called toxic men. I just don't get it.
No
And
one's saying that. No one's saying
yeah,
that.
you do. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do because. You don't know what honor means. You don't know
I have a
what
pretty good idea.
acting. Yeah, tell me, please.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying. No, I do have a pretty good idea what honor is, but nobody is saying that those two things you said of like wanting to have a family or that kind of thing is toxic. No one's saying that. What we're saying, those of us who believe this concept of toxic masculinity exists, we're saying, like, from my perspective, for instance, I don't like it, the male tendency of men not being able to admit they're wrong. Okay, that's one example, one thing that bothers me, and it's something that men are encouraged to do
No, no,
in
no.
order to
That's
uphold.
just being an asshole. Look, if you
Now,
don't,
well, yeah,
no,
but it's
if you
it's
don't,
it's also being an asshole, as you say, is also something that is kind of culturally reinforced all through, sort of the North American story or whatever. You kind of see these storylines play out where it's okay for men to be assholes, and that's like I'm not like fully aware of the entire subject. I've just seen it play out a lot in my life where men have sabotaged themselves because they put too much stock in appearing right rather than being right. So that I'm done. That's my point.
so look, men in this day and age are bombarded from all the sides with a lot of stuff that mess with our brain. Sorry about my English. I'm not from US. I'm from Europe, so it's not my native language, and I apologize right away if
Yeah,
I
No, you
you,
always
miss
do.
you
Don't worry about it.
something.
you're great. No, you're doing great.
Yeah. So you
You-
see, I I have two kinds of people. I have assholes and I have normal people, and I don't really care what anybody does with their life. I believe in freedom of choice, but uh, I was called toxic a lot of times because I stand my ground. I don't back to nobody and nothing. You know, I have a beautiful wife. I have a beautiful family. Uh, my wife wants me to be like this, protective, to be strong, to lead our family. And I lead my family by my example. So I have full trust and confidence from her because any of my choices are not made from selfish reason. It's always made for the better of my family. So, so if I, how would I say, if I don't understand some things like, for me, having, I don't know, another woman to cheat on a woman and stuff like that's like asshole behavior. You know, that's not like you cannot call somebody a man. To be a man, you have to earn it. You are maybe born as a man, gender wise, but to be a real man, there is a way of conduct. There is a thing you have to respect, you have to honor in the way you have to conduct yourself always in any situation. Never be aggressive. If you are man who has strength, like physical strength, your obligation is to protect weaker people than you, not to attack them. Like if you attack them, you are not toxic. You are just a fucking idiot, nothing else.
Well, okay. Well, if I may say, I can agree with like, practically every point you've made on principle. But, and I've made this point in other ways to people. I can feel that way about myself, and any random person, any random guy out there can feel that way themselves and make just as beautiful a speech. And I think the issue that women have is precisely that. You know what I mean? And it's kind of the fallacy of like just basically saying, well, I'm a good guy. I don't understand what women's problem are with men, you know, and it's like the math ain't mathin' on that, because implicit in that argument is the admission that a lot of men, because of behavior that they're not willing to take responsibility for to either subtle or great degree, are, you know, while they can make a speech like that, um, are just not holding up. And society, our society, still kind of tends to favor the BSers and the assholes, even though a lot of us can walk around saying, "I'm not like that." You know, it's
Let
yeah.
me ask you a question. Why do you think that a very high majority of sexual assault is committed by men?
Why? Because see, we are brainstormed from the young age. Like you start to watch porn when you are 12, 13, 14, and that messes with your head. Some people can control themselves, some people cannot control themselves. If you are influenced by sexual stuff all the time, like 24/7, every day, in school, in social medias, on TV, everywhere, like it can mess with your brain. Man brain is different than female brain. You are depend on emotions and feelings and stuff like that. We are pure, instinct in some situations. So when men see
I
a
would
naked
disagree
woman,
with
sorry,
that statement.
when men sees a naked woman all the time, half naked women impulses are like that. So 99.9% of the men can control that, but there's a lot of sociological situation where you are groomed by your society, by your surrounding, that you don't know how to control yourself. That's the same thing like fighting in the streets and stuff like that, attacking people for little stuff, and people just don't learn how to control themselves. People just act on impulsions, and that's it. And for me, from my point of view, every rapist, every abuser, everything needs to be in jail for a long, long time, especially for rape. For me, rape is the worst thing that man can do in his life, and I think the death penalty will be a great thing for that, because a lot of people will start thinking about what can end up with their life if they do something like that. Pedophilia is like that sentence right away, no excuses. But there, like, for me, I
So
can give you my example.
I'm sorry, you said a lot right there. Just to
Mhm.
clarify, your belief that men commit sexual assault at a higher degree is because of pornography?
Look, what does the female does? Females like to read about
That
sex.
was just a yes or no question.
Yes, 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 yes.
So, but men still committed it at a higher degree even before the industry.
Like it's been around
No,
for a long time.
yeah,
Like
it's been
like the
around for a long. Look,
pillage
it's
of
been around. It's been around for a long time. Yes,
right. So
it's
it
been
predates
always.
the
It's
pornographic.
usually it's been a tactic of war for like a few thousand years. Like it's a tactic. Like it's
Yeah,
not
because you want if
it's
you
not a
want to
new
attack.
thing.
Listen, if you want to attack some country and distort their culture from the basis, you rape their women, take
Point
over their children, and kill all the men. That was the military tactics for the ages, And
right,
I
and
don't say that good.
is that how can it be the pornography industry if it predates it?
Sorry, you didn't have pornography 1,000 years ago. You didn't have pictures.
So
You
what was
didn't
the
have orgies. You didn't have stuff. Yeah, you
what was
had it all the time. Listen, you had it in all Greece. You had it in Roman Empire. You had it every big culture that appeared on this planet in the last couple of thousand years. You had that, and I don't say it's good. I said we have to
right,
stop
but
it and
you're
stop it
saying
as soon
that
as
your
possible
point of
because it's
view
disaster.
doesn't your
Well,
opinion doesn't hold water because the violence of sexual assault from men predates the pornographic industry. So that's what I'm talking about when it comes to toxic masculinity. Toxic masculinity has a lot of predicated violence and misogyny attached to it.
Look, do you what's the rate of female cheating on their husbands today?
I don't know.
Check it out. You
You
know,
know,
Well,
80.
we are
there's
going
also a high
to.
rate of men cheating on women. Like it's just,
Yeah.
I'm not sure what point you're trying to make. I feel in some ways you're close to getting it. I mean, you talked about how people are getting bombarded with messages and in our culture, and I would say, yeah, that's very, very true. Certainly, that's always been the case for as long as I've been alive. I mean, popular movies of the 80s seem to glorify SA. I mean, the heroes committed questionable acts in frivolous 80s comedies. And it's, so in a way you get it, but it's like in another way, I think you're taking modern political views of things and sort of thinking that this is like a new issue or so, or this is just something people are being too upset about. And no, I mean, this is all legitimate. Like people have a right to discuss these things, and they have a right to put a name on it and say toxic masculinity. Like they just can. And it's none of this is new.
Okay, but if I said, but okay, you can say toxic masculinity. I don't have a problem with that. Really, I don't have, because if you make like definition which kind of men are in that box, okay. But what about toxic femininity? Is that a thing? Does it
Like I said
exist,
earlier,
or is just a problem with men?
Toxic
it's a problem
femininity
with men.
shows itself in ingrained misogyny. And the reason that it can't be a dichotomy is because men aren't the oppressor. So how can the oppressee have the toxic element?
Wait, how many percent of the men are oppressors?
What?
How many percent of the men are oppressors by your definition? What do you think? How many?
Well,
10%, 20, 50, 60?
uh, you
Not
can
sure
you
on this
can
now.
feel like you're not an oppressor, but doesn't change the fact that you still are. I mean, if it like I'm using a general you. I'm not accusing you of anything,
Yeah, yeah, okay,
but,
okay, I understand, no problem.
but it's like a lot of us like I just look at it essentially like we all have to work to be accountable and responsible for our behavior. And I find a lot of men don't because they float general ideas about themselves that are in the culture that they can just kind of hide behind, like, oh, I'm a man, I'm a provider, I'm a man, I'm stronger, I'm responsible, I'm this, and this. But there really is not enough work done to hold ourselves responsible and other men as well, and to like step in and just say this is wrong, this is just wrong. And whatever the treatment may be, whatever it is, we're not doing enough. We're not doing
Yeah,
enough.
but I'm telling all the time that's wrong. Like that's really, really wrong. You know,
I mean,
like men started acting like pigs for a long, long time. But you know what's happening right now? Females are also starting to act like pigs. You know, you cannot you
well,
cannot say that.
I you know yeah, I get it. And, like the whole thing is that every man's got that
No,
woman in his past that did him wrong.
how are women acting like pigs?
Listen, I will go from my standpoint. So, if I find a girl, start dating her, like, and I want to get married and something like that. If she's 22 years old and had 20, 30 partners until that age, like that is not the type of girl I will choose.
Why?
You know, I don't need it. I don't need somebody who will follow his basic instincts, sexual instincts, and change her partner. You know, she's not staying at one place. She won't fight for a relationship. She will cheat you 10,
You don't
5, 20 years.
just because
You know,
someone
that's it.
has
That's just like that.
just because someone
Listen,
has had
no.
multiple partners
Same is with
doesn't
the man.
make a good
Same,
partner.
listen. Same is with the man. If you are going to get married with a guy who changed girlfriends every month, who is not ever stayed in one place, who never had a responsibility to a relationship, who never pay attention to his partner, like it's your fault. You know, you choose the guy like that, and then when you say he's toxic or something like that, you saw it in the start. And if you,
No.
yeah,
Look, men are always talking about how great their instincts are, and usually they're full of it, and they still see what they want to see as much as anyone else, and they get so used to doing this that they ascribe this mythical ability of being able to read people to women, when a lot of times women have no defense for being lied to or being dishonest with, and men don't take responsibility for being deceptive or deceiving about things. So, women are caught in a trap where if they believe a man, if he's being, unfaithful or dishonest, then it's their fault for believing him. But if they don't believe him when
wait,
he says he's not that
you are
way, then
talking like
she's not giving him a chance. Then she's not giving him a
wait,
chance. It's like
you are
women
talking
can't
like
win.
that
It's rigged.
female never lies. Wait, female
No,
never lies. Everybody
no,
lies.
I'm.
Look,
That's not what I'm saying.
I'm so fucking cute, bitch.